Yeah,
congratulations for Rhapsody of Love.
yeah, the first Asian Australian rom-com. It's been a long time coming, you know, and it's just so good to spread that love. The world needs that love at the moment.
Yeah, I do hear you, and I do appreciate you making this film. Speaking from an Asian person myself, so
Yeah,
more
great.
representation is great.
Oh, yes. All my films have representation. I champion diversity in all my films. If you watch a Joy Hopwood film, you're going to be happy and there's going to be diverse.
That is true, and this movie shows it. So let's start with the simple question, the
Mhm.
easiest question for you. Where the original idea came from for Rhapsody of Love for you?
Well, I went to New York and I attended a film festival. And one of the storylines in Rhapsody of Love, the events person didn't show up. And I was wondering why, and everyone was wondering why. And, you know, it was two or three of them. And then unfortunately, I had to fly back to Australia. And I was thinking, there must be a reason why. And I wrote that reason. I thought, this is one of the great storylines for Rhapsody of Love. So that was the starting point. And then the events planner, I know an events planner, and she inspired me to write that storyline. So those two storylines were really based on real life experiences.
That is terrific.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed, by watching this movie, I get a sense you love romantic comedies.
Oh, I love Nora Ephron and Nancy Myers. I just want to be like them when I grew up. And now I'm being the change that I want to see. I've never seen an Asian Australian or a diverse woman champion romantic comedies and diversity. So I'm going to be that woman, you know, and I hope these films live on beyond me, you know, just like Nora Ephron. When I'm feeling down, I watch one of her films, and I want my films to do the same.
Now, you done one previous film before. Was
Yeah, the
that
script of life.
also what?
The script of life.
Yeah, was that also romantic comedy too?
Yes, it is, but it was a Caucasian man lead, Callum Alexander, and Erica Long as the Chinese lead. But this is the first romantic comedy with two Asian leads, so it's a little bit different. And then my next one, Get a Life, has Indian Asian, you know, mixture. It's Bollywood touch. So you know, these three films, I hope people will see the happiness and diversity at the forefront.
How's the casting process for Asians over there? In Australia. I'm sure it's a little bit different, right?
Well, there's a lot more, you know what I mean? A lot of representation of Asians, males and females. And I actually knew Kathy, who was a supporting actress in The Script of Life, and I wanted to champion her because she lights up the screen and she has a great presence. And I auditioned the male lead, and it wasn't until, you know, a few weeks before filming I found him. And I was so grateful. He's such a lovely guy. And everyone, when we go to premieres and things, events, people love him. You know, not only is good looking, but he's just so warm and genuine. Both of them are so fun loving, and that's part of my casting process. Not only are they good actors, I always cast people with a good heart and humble. It's so important to work with cast like that.
Now, I find your characters so relatable. Tell me about the writing process of developing the characters of Justin and Jess through them. Obviously, one's a photographer, the other one's a PR. Both of them are filmmakers. They're
Yes.
all relatable in your life.
Yes, they're all relatable in my life, and these characters exist. You know, I find character traits in these two, as well as, you know, a lot of other things, and I mix it all up. I know an actual events photographer, I know an events planner, and so I combine the two. So with their experiences and you know, my zest for life and love, I combine the mix, and that's what I got.
Most excellent. I found it refreshing. It's always funny to me is when a movie starts off with the wedding, because usually we end movies with the wedding. Can you talk
I
about
know, but I wanted to be a little different.
that?
I just wanted to have the happiness, and then when they meet, it's just electrifying. They have great chemistry, these two.
That is good, great. Now the thing that that surprised me, because unlike the trailer that basically kind of shows that it's a story about Justin and Jess. It's not really just a story about Justin and Jess. It's a story about multiple relationships, you know, Justin and Victoria, or Ben and Natasha, and so on. Tell us why you wanted to basically expand not the love between Justin and Jess, but basically the love and relationships between everybody else.
Well, I wanted to showcase different stages of relationships and, you know, the marriage, and then people who have been in a relationship for a very long time and they lost the love. And then also just to also champion at the end, you know, why we fell in love in the first place. And, you know, breakups are really hard, but it would be nice, you know, when people break up in a more respectable manner. And I wanted to show a breakup in a respectable manner, and remember why you fell in love in the first place, because breakups can be really messy, and I want people to end up, you know, respectable. So I wanted to convey that in my film.
It seems like all your characters have something in common, and it's that their love for their work.
Yeah, because I have a love for my work. I'm so passionate, and I think that's what gets people by in life. If you have a passion for something, you just go for it, you know, and it's sometimes there's risk, but happiness, you can't sacrifice happiness. And it's really important, you know, to convey that in this film.
You yourself have a great acting career yourself, and you have a part into this movie. What is it that did you write a part for yourself? Was it convenient?
I just wanted, because I love acting, I just wanted, all my scenes were done in one day. It was on the last day of shoot, and I just wanted my scenes to be intersected, you know, intercut, to have the light moments in the film. And I love people laughing at me, you know. I've always wanted to be like the Mrs. Bean, or you know, like the Jerry Seinfeld. I just wanted to be the comic moments in the film, and I don't get that opportunity in Australia. A lot of people don't think Chinese people are that funny or something. I've never been cast in that, so I had to write that for myself. So that was a little thing for myself.
Oh, what typical roles do you usually have in Australia?
Oh, in Australia, I'm always like the mum role, or I'm always like a medical person, you know. I just want to be a fun-loving Mrs. Bean or Jerry Seinfeld, you know. I'd love to have an Asian Seinfeld. I'd love that. So, you know, I'm championing Asians in comedy as well. We don't have enough of that in Australia. We probably only have 1 or 2 programs, but I want more. So I have to be the change that you want to see.
Absolutely. That is great to hear. And how are you in exercising?
I'm hopeless at exercising. The most exercise I get is going to the dog park, and I pat the dogs on the head. That's my exercise every day, but it gives me a lot of joy.
And hence that's why the character falls in love with Phil character.
Yes, yes, they're very quirky. That's a bit of a spoiler, but yes, they're very quirky characters and most unlikely.
That is terrific for you. So what's next for you after this movie, Rhapsody?
Oh, I'm in post-production for my next one. It's a romantic drama called Get a Life All Right, and it's showcasing. I wrote this with Shamini Singhal, who's Indian, and it's a touch of Bollywood. And you'll get to see how it's based around a music video show, and there's love and excitement there, and a little bit of Bollywood. So I can't wait till that comes out next year as well. So, you know, I'm just spreading my love and the joy of filmmaking and independent filmmaking, and hope people really, you know, enjoy my films, just like Nancy Myers and Nora Ephron. I just want to be an Asian person like them.
Before I forget, I noticed that you had a song called "Rhapsody of Love" in the film. Could you talk about that? Was it made for the film, or you found it?
Yes. No, I sang and wrote that song.
You sang and wrote it?
Yeah. I used to do a lot of singing and pop, you know. Yes, that's another world of mine. Before I started filmmaking, I used to write pop songs, and I had a record company, but they wanted to put me in a girl group because I didn't think an Asian girl would be able to be successful in the industry at that time. But yeah, that's another lifetime ago. But I just enjoy writing the title song for my film. So that's like the icing on the cake for me. After I do my film, I go back to the songwriters that I've been working for, and we make that song, and I love it.
Wow, that is awesome. Is there anything that Joy can't do? You act, you direct, you write, you sing.
Oh, I don't like ironing and driving. They're two things I'm not very good at. But I love everything else. But thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, being Asians themselves, championing Asian. Thank you so much.
Hey, not a problem. But one more thing before I leave you. I want to hear the story with those puppets behind in your background.
Oh, I'll do anti-bullying and anti-racism with the Wong side of life. Yeah, that's another thing I do. I go into schools and talk about anti-racism and anti-bullying with these puppets. And I have a little video you might see on YouTube about that, about kindness. So sometimes when I'm not filmmaking, once a month I go into schools and talk about them with the puppets, the Wong side of life.
Oh, that is terrific. You are a great person, Joy.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Thank you for making this film on Rhapsody of Love, and thank you for carrying the conversation with us.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. I can't wait to talk to you again on your next project.
Oh, I can't wait to. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
Have a
thank
good
you.
day. Be
You
safe.
too. Bye.